Let us do it Dad's way. While watching Will Smith in his latest masterpiece, King Richard, I was reminded of one of the major reasons I chose to start sharing my journey through fatherhood in the first place. When I became a stay-at-home dad, a lot of people insinuated that I was a stand-in for my wife and that I was learning how to do things her way. This couldn't be further from the truth. In many ways, yes, I look to my wife for guidance and advice about how to raise our children. As a woman, she had more experience caring for children than I did. I learned from her in some ways and forged my own in other ways. As men, we are told we are at a deficit in relation to our parenting counterparts in male to female parenting relationships. In some ways, yes, because like I said before, we typically have less experience caring for children at the time we become parents. However, we have instincts just like moms do. We care for ourselves and can figure out how to give our children what they need. Will it look different than the way mom does it? Of course. And why? Because we aren't doing it mom's way. We're doing it dad's way. The reason I was reminded of this while watching King Richard was because throughout the film, we watch Richard Williams, father of tennis icons Venus and Serena Williams, push all of his children incredibly hard in the direction of their goals. He requires them to keep straight A's, to remain humble in the face of their victories, and to trust his vision as it pertains to the trajectory of their careers. Even though he is hard on his children, he is also their biggest cheerleader. He confidently believes throughout the entirety of the film in the genius of his children, and the confidence bleeds onto them and into their endeavors. For me as a black father watching this film, I understood why Richard pushed his children the way he did. I applauded him for it. The lens through which we are meant to see Richard, though, is of discomfort. He is portrayed as overbearing, pompous, or overall too much. At the end of the film, we see Venus and Serena become the legends we all know them to be today, but we still don't see Richard get his flowers. Of course, he has the satisfaction of helping his children achieve their dreams. Of course, we have to admit that the way he did things worked, but the true brilliance of this man was not celebrated the way it needs to be. He is a father who demanded excellence from his children, not from a place of danger or abuse, but from a place of love and dedication. It is obvious in the film that Richard loves his children beyond comparison. So why are we made to feel so uncomfortable with the way he does things? The lens through which we see Richard's efforts remind me of the general attitude toward black fathers who encourage their children to be exceptional. We're viewed as pushing too hard, or too far, or being too aggressive, or altogether too much. This isn't the same way I've seen our white counterparts represented. Because when a white dad acts the same way, he is assertive, caring, passionate, and driven. Why as black fathers are we not allowed to want and demand excellence from our children without also being villainized? Why are we held to a different standard of fatherhood whereby we can do no right? If we expect greatness from our children, we're too demanding. If we don't, we're passive. These are the two boxes people try to put us in as black fathers. Fathers, especially black fathers, need the freedom to parent their children their way. We aren't learning to be secondary mothers. We are our own entity, and we have important lessons to impart to our children too. When we look at exceptional people, especially exceptional black people who come from less bountiful opportunity and provision like Venus and Serena Williams or the Ball brothers, we have to celebrate the fathers who help them carry themselves to new heights. Because if we don't, we further the narrative that a father is less pivotal in a child's life than we actually are. This sentiment is damaging and false, and it takes credit away from the people who are doing wonderful things for and with their children. When I look at my children and the skills I have to share with them, I realize that I have the opportunity to teach them how to make amazing art, whether it be television or film or music. My children have already shown an interest in this, and anything I teach them about this industry will come from a place of love and care, not a place of pressure and force. Of course, real love applies pressure because it requires us to grow, to change, to adapt, and rise to the challenge, which is the type of love I have always and will always show my children. I'm sure that as time goes on, as our children find their brilliance And as I attempt to guide them in it, someone along the way will say I'm doing too much or pushing too hard. But I will know the truth, which is that I'm being the best father I can be, and our children will be better for it. That's why my platform has always and will always be about celebrating fatherhood at every stage and every change. So if you're a dad, don't be afraid to do it your way. Fail, win, stumble, triumph. Teach your kids, learn from them too. We're important, we're needed, and we're gonna raise some amazing people along the way.